Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everybody. First, I would like to welcome all of you for this training workshop for outstanding special need teacher in English session. Today, we have Ms. Jamila Al-Hassani. She will present all standards and terms and conditions for this category in Sharjah Award of Educational Excellency, session 2027. Inshallah, we will keep you update, and we will try to reply for all question on chatting and the question and answer before end of this session. Anyone has any question, he can raise hand and we can give him the permission to activate his mic. Thank you, and let us listen to Ms. Jamila.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Is it clear? Yeah, inshallah, clear.
Inshallah, it is clear, Ms. Jamila.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening. Welcome all to Sharjah's award training. Today we will be working, inshallah, on the category of outstanding. علق عندي الكمبيوتر.
Stop share and share again, Ms. Jamila.
لغيت التاتش أحسن. أيوة, okay. لغيت التاتش. Inshallah, today we will be talking about the outstanding special education specialist or teacher for the session 27th of Sharjah Award of Educational Excellence, the year 2021. As you know, we can't say enough this great man, His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, ruler of Sharjah. He's been supportive of the educational field for years, and one of the most important accomplishment is the award itself. Has been shedding lights on so many educational people who've been distinguished and excellent in their fields. And as you know, the vision is actually establishing a consensuous generation from a pioneering national educational system. And that's why the award is actually looking for those people who are adding to the field of education and who are innovative and who are actually providing excellent services to the society. The timeline for the plan would be, as you know, starting now, December, till the end or the mid of June. In the mid of April, inshallah, we will take all the application forms, and by mid of June, there will be a press conference to announce the winners for the 27 sessions of the award. The awards this year has added 2 more categories, if you're familiar with the old ones. So this year we're having the outstanding supporting professions in the schools and in the educational field, as well as outstanding educational leader category. Today, inshallah, we'll only talk about the outstanding special education teacher. And I would repeat what has always been said, that in the race of excellence, there's no end line. And I'm sure that you are aware of some of the general conditions that has been, I hope that you can go through all of them. You will find all of this in the site of the award. I will only go through the special conditions regarding the outstanding special education specialist or teacher. As you may know, that all special education specialists and teachers working with the students or with disabilities or learning disabilities in public and private schools in the United Arab Emirates are eligible to apply for the Sharjah Award. All those nominated should have a recognized university qualification, should work in the field of disability or learning disabilities for at least 3 years related to the year, or sorry, including the year of nomination of a school or the special education support center. The candidate receives a minimum score of should receive a minimum score of 2 in the annual performance evaluation for the last academic year, including the nomination year. The specialist distinguished special education teacher is nominated through the school or a special education support center or from the Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Abu Dhabi or Abu Dhabi Educational Council, or through universities and institutions. The applicants must not have won the Discharge Award for Excellence and Educational Excellence in the same category before the end of 3 sessions of the year of winning. So these are important for you to know. I would like you to go back to the site and look at the general terms, please. Today we'll only focus on the standards and how you can apply and what is required from each domain. So I would like you to watch the following. I hope it's going to work. This is a video, has been, as you know, and as you may have seen, the winning award is not for special. I'm sorry about that. It's just for a teacher, and that's what I would like to share with you, because in my perspective, in my own view, I think that teachers of special ed or the regular ordinary teachers acquire the same.
عفوا أستاذة جميلة، السكرين مش طالع إلا إذا كان في فيديو أنت بتشغليه.
I just want.
Okay, now okay.
And I was explaining what the video will be about. So I would like you to watch with me. It's about 2.5 minutes. And then maybe we could share together the qualities of teachers, of good teachers in general. So let's watch this.
I just wanted to create a learning environment for every student that could spark their curiosity and make them innovative problem solvers so that they could contribute to the community. Paritwadi is mostly known for farming. So we can see that all of them are below poverty level parents. The boys are actually lending the helping hands to their parents. Girls' education is not given that much importance. So education is not a priority. I still remember the day one when I saw the school building, and I saw that this is like indifference of a parents in looking at the education. So I started to interact with the parents. I learned their language, participated in their events. So it was like being a member of their community.
परंतु ज्यावेळेस डिसले सर आले त्यावेळेस पासून काय झालं की एक विद्यार्थ्यांना प्रेरणा मिळाली की आपण शाळेमध्ये येऊन शिकलं पाहिजे. पालकांनी त्यामुळे काय केलं की जास्तीत जास्त विद्यार्थ्यांना शाळेमध्ये जास्त वेळ कसे राहतील याकडे लक्ष दिलं.
Even though I'm teaching to 12 and 13 students in a class, but everyone is learning at their own pace. I have made some QR codes on each and every textbook. So when the students scan those QR codes, he or she gets the personalized and well-curated content for himself. Considering his style of learning, I change the content at the back end. So this is how I make their learning personalized. They can challenge themselves. They are not competitors of others. Technology is helping me to bridge that gap between students living in villages and students in cities.
Thank you for watching. And I can't see actually who can participate or not, but in general, I could gather certain characteristics of any outstanding teachers from that video. As you can see, an outstanding teacher would be expert in communication skills, would have superior listening skills, listening to others, and community building skills, as you can see from that video as well. Friendliness and approachability is some of the qualities that that an outstanding teacher could possess. High expectations for all, never low expectations. Deep knowledge and passion for their subject matter or for the profession in general. The ability to build caring relationship with students, excellent preparation and organization skills, and of course, a strong work ethics. And you can see that as many of you has been dealing with so many challenges with special ed students or students with determination, as we call them here in the UAE. This teacher, Ranjit, has faced so many challenges. Sometimes it can be looked at as special cases. So he has been able actually for years to work with these kinds of challenges and these types of students. So in general, the teacher of special education is the pillar of the process of rehabilitation and training of students with determination, and should have a clear and positive impact, I would say, on the development of the abilities and the skills of these students. Teacher of special education works with them in the ordinary classroom or in the resources room or in the special classroom as well, through the preparation of the educational plan for students according to their abilities and their needs and the severity of the disability. So there are about four domains in this category of award. It starts with the leadership skills, and it has its 150 points are assigned to this domain. The first, let me talk you through the leadership skills. Now, leadership skills, the art of dealing with human nature, the art of influencing others and human behavior, to guide a group of people towards a specific goal in a way that ensures their trust, respect, and cooperation. Educational leader is the one who practices the art of consisting of the ability to plan, this is number one, direct, coordinate, motivate, and assist to the extent to which the required goals are achieved. So let's start with the first one, which is planning. Now, as a special ed teacher or specialist, you are required to attach an integrated annual operation action plan to areas and elements, including, of course, that plan should include goals, methods, performance indicators, activities, operational programs and procedures, time frame for your plan, and the mechanics of the program or programs use. We expect to see all of this in this operational plan. It is really important that this plan clarifies the multiple methods that are commonly used in the areas of follow-up and evaluation of action plan, and of course the difficulties and the implementation, the difficulties of the implementation and ways to overcome them, and then mention the consequences. And then that would be 50 points out of the 150. The second standard would be teams and specialized committees. Now, an outstanding special ed teacher or a specialist should be able to work with others, should be able to participate in different teams and different committees in any way that can help the special education students, that can help with their education and the learning within the school community. Now, we would like you to attach these letters and these kind of documents that actually show that you are part of any committee or any team, and what is the role that you are actually functioning within that team, and how this role is actually helping your students and your profession. You can also attach some minutes of the meetings of these committees and recommendations, and how you are following up with these minutes, and then how are you actually determine the impact of your membership in that program or in that service that you're providing, the special ed. That's 40 points. Third standards within the leadership skills would be encouragement and motivations. It is how you are motivating your students, what the practices are, what are you using to implement these practices to motivate your students of disabilities and of learning disabilities to achieve and to impact their learning and to increase their motivation for achievement. How are you reviewing the efforts and the practices? You carried out a lot of these programs or these practices. How are you evaluating them, and how are you reviewing these efforts to parents, to teachers, to other specialists like you? And how are you motivating others to work with the students of disabilities? Now, it's up to you to show as much as you can, as long as you are within the limits of the documents that and the load, the memory. I don't know شو يعني شو اسمها السعة اللي محطوطة لهم. So if you are within the limit of the documents, and then you can attach any of these documents where you can show your practices, and that will be going to be 60 points. We'll go to the second domain, which is scientific and professional competencies. And as you can see, and the biggest point is here. This is the greatest point, which is 350, is awarded to this domain. So that's about 6 of them. Domain 2 is the scientific and professional competencies, and we are expecting that teachers in this domain possessing the knowledge and the professional competencies necessary to work with these students, to help with their education, and then it shows how high your performance is. We're expecting that you're taking into account the integration of these skills with each other, such as planning qualification, choosing the appropriate strategies and methods to deal with a special group of students. You are having it means that you are having the skills to employ and to develop assistive techniques, participating in activities and events for students with disabilities. And also you are providing programs and support services that help achieve the desired goals for your students. Now, if we go to the standards, so we will start with what you're required to provide to show that you have this kind of knowledge and these kinds of skills. You are required to provide photos of 3 remedial intervention plans and or the 3 different individual educational plans. So in these plans, you should show that you know the areas of strength and the areas of needs, and that you are planning according to these needs. It shows the methods to determine the areas of strength and areas that needs to be improved. It shows that what kind of needs that your students need, and then how supportive to the skills that is required to achieve from them. Now, in the light of the remedial intervention plan, of course. Now, also you are required to show that some examples, at least 3 examples of daily or weekly teaching plans explaining the activities and practices, and some of your worksheets that you're using actually for your students that tackles these kinds of needs. Describe the adjustments. Sometimes you need to do some of these adjustments for your goals and for your plans, and sometimes for the curriculum to suit the needs of your students. And there are 50 points are put for these for this standards. The second one would be strategies and methods of dealing with students. You are required to show some strategies and methods that you're using in your intervention to help these students. How are you teaching or modifying the behavior of different abilities of students? And within these 3 years, and then explain also why you chose these strategies. Attach 3 documents, samples of your documents of your recommendations on implementing some of these adjustments to the curriculum. Attach 3 document samples of your recommendations or your participation in modification processes in classrooms and school environment to suit different abilities of your students. Attach also a brief report on the modifications, adaptations and considerations for the teaching and the evaluation. Each of these points are 20 points, total of 80 points. You're also required to show how you are utilizing technology and educational multimedia aids in general, and that's 40 points. You need to list the most important instructional technology that you have employed and you recommend to employ with the different disabilities, explaining why these particular techniques were selected. Present also your contribution to the design or development of some of media. So you need to show and to list some of these technologies and also how you are developing or contributed in developing or designing some of these media or any technology that you have applied in your classroom, and then it helped your students and why you chose these kind of technologies. Present different images of technologies and media that have been designed or developed, and then review how innovative technologies have been utilized inside and outside the school. So you know that students of determination have different needs, different abilities. How are you actually making good use of technology, especially within the last 2 or 3 semesters, and helping them through distance learning or through technology in general? There will be 70 points for supporting programs and services provided to these students over these 3 years. We need to see some examples of your programs that have been prepared or developed to work with students of determination. Identified, and this is really important, that you identify the positive impact. So yes, you've used these kind of services or these kinds of programs, but how effective these programs were to your students and their families, and to what extent the schools and maybe also the community benefited from exchanging these kind of programs. List supportive services provided. Identify also the positive impact of these services in achieving objectives of individual educational programs. I have seen some teachers of special ed provide certain services such as hours called office hours or my time hours or whatever they call them, specialized for special students and for their needs. They're helping the families. They're adjusting their timetable and adjusting certain services, certain technologies where they can actually help these students. And the more innovative you are, the more impact you're having on these students, the better, of course. And you can get 70 points easily within this category. Now, it is really important to see how you're evaluating your students and how you're evaluating the method you're using with special abilities. How are you helping with their learning difficulties in the past 3 years? We need to see periodic reports, different categories of students of special needs, and you're specifying to what extent these results are positive, and how are you using these results to evaluate your students, and how they are linked to the objectives of the individual educational plan that you that's set from the very beginning. So list the results of the formative continuous assessments for the cases. You only have to provide 3 cases, examples of 3 cases that you worked with within 3 years, and how the impacts and the evaluation and the impact of your individual education plan, and how these results are actually helping you to improve and to develop, modify your individual education plan. Explain how the formative continuous assessment and had a positive impact on the development of special education programs. And there will be 60 points for this category. So 3 cases, 3 examples, 20 each, I guess. The third domain would be professional and community commitment, and that would be 300 points, and that's a big deal of points that you can earn within that category. As you may read before, and it's really important to have the teaching profession ethics and and how you are actually led by these ethics, and how are they affecting your behavior as an educator, how it is affecting the community around you, other teachers, parents, students, and how are you dealing with different challenges and different difficulties within your profession, and how are you helping actually the community around you, preparing the awareness, are you preparing some awareness programs for other teachers within the school, for parents, for students with non-disabilities, and are they actually is there actually a good impact on the programs you are implementing to raise that awareness, as an example. So in this domain, we're going to talk about such things. Let's start with the first one, awareness programs for teachers, parents, and students. As you can see, there are 3 categories, 3 domains you can look at. So we need you to list the awareness programs provided for teachers within the schools. I was privileged to see some teachers actually special ed teachers working with other teachers. So they are planning together, they're working together, they are in one committee together, they're working with the same students. As you can see in the inclusion classes, most of our students spend most of the time with the regular classes with the other teachers. So are we raising other teachers awareness of these difficulties, and how we are helping with the teaching and learning of these special ed students? Is there also a programs that's been implemented for parents of I would say both students, either parents of students, regular students, or students with determination? So are you working with these kind of parents? And not only that, when we work within the school community, are we talking to the nurse of the schools? In the school, are we talking to the workers in the schools, the bus drivers? So everyone within the school communities, how are we raising the awareness of the community around us? And of course, don't forget the students, the classmates without disabilities, and how they are dealing and working with students with disabilities. So this is 60 points, 20 each, 20 for each programs. Each program, and of course every program should deal with different category of people. The second one would be promoting the relationship between home and school. And it is really important to demonstrate how you're working with the parents, how you're involving the parents with decision making regarding their students. We would like to see some methods. List some method that you use to enhance the relationship. Are you using the social medias? Are you using the telephone, for example? Are you sending emails? Are you organizing certain events for parents to understand and to help in the education of their own children? You need to demonstrate the areas of partnership. How are you making this kind of partnership? What kind of partnership are you working with parents, so that both sides are developing the programs and modifying the programs and the services within the context of teaching the students? And 3 40 points are awarded to this standard. Now, we need to see how the teacher of special education is promoting cooperation with co-workers, specialist teachers and administrators at the school or ministry level. Now, it is really important to have this kind of a strong relationship between home, school, other institutions, the Ministry of Education in general, the training department. So whatever you are working with within this context, mention 3 efforts and events that you have already implemented during the last 3 academic years to enhance cooperation with schools, with the sector in general, with the private education in general, with co-workers, with other institutions within the UAE. Then we would like to see your efforts within these programs. And what kind of impact, because we're always looking for impact. It's not just participation. Are you implementing certain programs where you are actually helping and guiding co-workers to work with special ed students? Demonstrate your role, explain the philosophy of inclusion. Are you implementing the inclusion policy? Are you explaining to others? Are you providing enough awareness for the community and for the co-workers around you, and at what level? Is it only school levels, the cluster level, the city level, the ministry level? It's really important to show how active you are actually in this kind of standard. Are you, for example, a member of a support team, special education team? So you need to show your efforts regarding promoting cooperation and with co-workers. 50 points are awarded to this standard. Voluntary activities with community institutions, because you need to show that you are not only working within a smaller group, you're not only working with the school level, you need to show that you are also working beyond that. Are you volunteering within any kind of groups within the community or the whole emirate, maybe, or maybe even far beyond that? What kind of community services are you providing, or are you participating in? Are you also, maybe, do you intend to achieve more communication? Maybe you have this kind of levels, maybe you're working within certain level, but you intend to work within other local communities and institutions. If you even if you intend to, please show us that you're planning to do the following, maybe certain research you've done, certain readings you have done, so that you can, maybe some kind of correspondence that you have exchanged with other community members or with other institutions, with voluntary teams. We need to see some of these activities, and of course 50 points will be awarded to this standard. Now, it is really important that you show behavioral values and how you are reinforcing positive behavior within several levels. Mentioned here 5 of them, or 6 of them actually: ethical and human values, how honest and equality and justice and tolerant you are, and within the school level or within in your life, your values in life. What kind of social values are you practicing, and how they are linked to your own practices? How are you, for example, showing cooperation, empathy, tolerance? Are you participating in any of these social value events, sometimes school broadcasting or writing to others, or policies that you have established within the, for example, behavioral policy in your school, to, of course, instill such values in the school members or in the and the students and teachers, co-workers, and so on. We would like also to show the mental and the cognitive values, which represent scientific ethics and mental characteristics such as curiosity, rationality, accuracy, and objectivity. National values such as public interest, sacrifice, citizenship. Like you can show some of the books you've been reading with these students that actually instill these values. List the type of programs that you have planned to implement or you have implemented in order to support the behavioral values of students with disabilities, co-workers, other students, and show the impact of these programs within the school level or the community level. The sixth one and the last one in this category, in this domain, is the supporting and educational initiatives in the field of learning disabilities or learning difficulties. It is really important to show how you are supporting initiatives of the education, of the Ministry of Education, the vision of the UAE, the inclusion, for example, policy, the community of the UAE. So list any events and programs planned to support the inclusive education initiatives. Highlight its importance to the individuals and the UAE community. And don't forget also that we need to see a review or a summary of the most important information, data and statistics gathered about the inclusion experience in the world, for example, and you can cite the source of this information, data, statistics, and then show how it was employed in the awareness program that you have conducted over the past 3 years. Review the stakeholders who have participated with you in the planning, maybe parents, maybe the leadership in the school, maybe in the institution, maybe the training center, who knows. Whatever you have participated in to support the educational initiative, especially the inclusive policy or the inclusive initiative in the UAE, then that's worth 40 points of the total points of the category. Now, the main 4 and the last one is the professional development, and 200 points would be awarded to that category, to that domain. We need to see a brief review of the most important self-assessment tools you have employed in your field of work, showing the results and the effects of each. 40 points, maybe you need to show something like 4 or 1 way or 2, as long as you think is most effective, and you can see you can show that its result. Then I would advise you, I would recommend you, highly recommend that you use a good and valid self-evaluation tool. Now, professional and self-development. Now, we would like you to mention all the efforts and activities that you have made to improve the scientific and professional competencies in the field of specialization for you or for others, and what impact of these efforts and activities on upgrading your scientific and professional competencies. As you can see, and it's mentioned a table in the nomination form. You will see in the nomination form, you will see a table that you can complete to show these efforts. View the most important self-development programs you have joined or have enrolled in, explaining the impact and the outcomes of these programs as well. And it is also you will find the table in the nomination form that you can complete. The third one would be participating in any research or studies that actually add to the field of interest. We would like to see some examples, some images of these creative activities, any networks, any artwork, any research, any studies that you have been participating in, or you've been conducting yourself. We would like to see any scientific articles. So whatever you can gather within that category, there will be 40 points awarded to that category. Now, also a very important point related or regarding the motivation of others, not only motivating others to be excellent, but also to show and to participate in this kind of awards. So are you holding any events to raise the awareness of other co-workers, other teachers, to join the award or to be part of that event? We would like you to mention methods and activities you have circulated or you have used. Maybe you have circulated some information, maybe conducted a training session to your co-workers, participated in some, and so on. List only 4 events or activities regarding motivating different categories to participate in Charges Award. That's all. These are the only categories for that award. Make sure that you tell yourself yet that you deserve distinction, you deserve excellence. Charges Award for Educational Excellence is waiting for you. Please visit our site to learn more about the award category and term. Don't also forget to go through the terms and conditions. We appreciate your attendance and thank you for joining me and listening. We can open the door for the questions. Thank you so much. How do I stop?
Thank you very much, Ms. Gamila. And now we are waiting for a question, but at least we have one here from Ms. Lolita Ranit. She said you can see the questions.
Okay. Questions on the chat?
No, in the Q&A.
In the Q&A, yes. Okay. Okay. Are the evidence we are going to provide from this school year only, this term one, or we can provide since? Oh, it's the evidence are 3 years. We need to see that the work is consistent and it's continuous, and that's been you've been working on certain programs for not just for the time being, not just for the award, but it just you've been working for that programs for years, at least 3 years.
So it is not only last year. It is although they can provide evidence from last 3 years plus this first term of the current year.
Yes, true.
Okay, thank you. Anyone has any question? He can raise hand and we can give him the permission to speech. You are welcome, Ms. Lolita.
I don't think we have so many questions. You can raise hand, you can participate if you like. You can ask any questions.
I guess, mashallah, your presentation was very clear. And if there is no answer, there is no questions, so it means you, mashallah, did well. Okay, we have another question from Lolita also. Again. Yes, it is clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lolita. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Please encourage others to be part of that award. It's not so difficult. You can show your distinguished work, and you will be highly awarded, highly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mahmoud.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gamila, and hoping all attendees today already participated, inshallah, in the this category, and you can visit the award website, and you can find there all the categories and all information. Also, the explanatory guide is there. The nomination form is there. Also, in each category, we have part for question and answer. It is also available in Arabic and English. If you visit the site and shown in Arabic, you can switch the language from the upper part of the website to English language and check whatever you want. Thank you for your attendance today, and hope you all participated in this category. And at any time, if you need anything, you can send an email also to the award email. It is there in our website. Thank you very much, and see you soon, inshallah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Jamila.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Okay, شكرا. السلام عليكم.